Let's cross live to Rome, Italy, where King Charles is currently addressing a joint session of the Italian Parliament.
Many of the heroes of Italy's unification, including Cavour and Mazzini, spent time in the United Kingdom. Through the centuries, ever since, Italian merchants docked in Southampton in the 14th century, and moneylenders from northern Italy settled in the appropriately named Lombard Street in London. Our peoples have traded with each other, inspired each other, learnt from each other. From the wonders of the Renaissance to the Industrial Revolution, to scientific pioneers such as Guglielmo Marconi, who refined his genius in the UK before transforming the world. Nearly a third of Shakespeare's plays were set here in Italy, just as Italian artists have drawn inspiration from the Bard. And we have benefited hugely from your influence over what we wear, what we drink, and what we eat. I can only hope you will forgive us for occasionally corrupting your wonderful cuisine. We do so, I promise you, with the greatest possible affection. So we are two peoples and two nations whose stories are deeply intertwined, including, of course, with that of our European continent. We are both, after all, European countries. Yesterday, I laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Inscribed on its marble are words recalling the British forces who fought alongside Italian forces in the First World War. In a few weeks' time, we will mark the 80th anniversary of the end of the Second World War in Europe. We will remember the terrible price of war and of the precious gift of peace. At Anzio and Monte Cassino last year, and in Sicily the year before, we have remembered the British and Allied servicemen who gave their lives in the liberation of this country 80 years before. Including more than 45,000 from Commonwealth nations and almost 30,000 from the United Kingdom. My grandfather, King George VI, visited British and Allied troops in July and August 1944, staying at an HQ near Arezzo. Tomorrow, in Ravenna, as King of the United Kingdom and of Canada, I will have the great honor of commemorating the 80th anniversary of the liberation of that province, together with President Mattarella, in which British and Canadian forces played a key role. And as head of the Commonwealth, it will be my signal privilege to recall the indispensable role played by many troops from the Commonwealth as well as other allied nations. And we remember, too, the terrible suffering of the Italian civilian population, as well as the heroism of the resistance, including Paola Del Din, trained by the Special Operations Executive and dropped by parachute to carry out her mission in support of the Allies 80 years ago today. I know that we are all thinking of Paola, now 101, on this day, and salute her courage. Permettetemi anche di esprimere la nostra profonda gratitudine alle molte centinaia di coraggiosi civili italiani che hanno dato rifugio ai soldati britannici e alleati, rischiando così la propria vita. Today, sadly,
Oggi,
the echoes
purtroppo,
of those times,
l'eco di quei
which
tempi
we fervently hoped
che speravamo ardentemente fossero stati consegnati alla storia, riecheggia su tutto il nostro continente. Le nostre giovani generazioni ogni giorno vedono dai notiziari sui loro telefonini e tablet che la pace non può mai essere data per scontata. Gran Bretagna e Italia oggi sono unite nella difesa dei valori democratici che condividiamo. I nostri paesi, tutti e due, sono stati al fianco dell'Ucraina nel momento del bisogno e hanno accolto migliaia di ucraini bisognosi di rifugio. Le nostre forze armate sono fianco a fianco nella NATO. Siamo infinitamente grati del ruolo che l'Italia svolge ospitando basi chiave della NATO e guidando numerose operazioni all'estero. Tra poche settimane, il gruppo di battaglia Carrier Strike Group della Royal Navy, guidato dalla portaerei Prince of Wales, si eserciterà a fianco delle forze italiane nel Mediterraneo, un potente simbolo della nostra cooperazione.
Britain's King Charles III addresses Italy's parliament, the first British monarch to do so. His visit to the country coincides with his 20th wedding anniversary, and earlier he had a private meeting with Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni on Wednesday and saw a performance of Shakespeare's Othello. Newsday returns in a moment. Please stay with us. Last goes back to Rome, Italy, where King Charles is currently addressing a joint session of the Italian Parliament.
Encouraging to see both our countries working together to tackle biodiversity loss and to cut emissions. I can only applaud Italian entrepreneurs for their pioneering achievements, from the world's first geothermal power plant to the first nationwide rollout of smart meters. Earlier today, I was delighted to meet with Italian and British business leaders whose collaboration, innovation, and investment in clean growth are so vital to our energy transition. Upon their success, all our futures depend. Ladies and gentlemen, al centro di tutto ciò che ho descritto, che è un denominatore comune, un filo conduttore, la nostra risorsa più grande, i nostri cittadini. It is our citizens, and especially our young people, who are adding piece by piece to the intricate mosaic that makes up the relationship between our countries. Much of that is thanks to over 450,000 Italians who make their home in the United Kingdom, across Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and England, as well as to the tens of thousands of British citizens who live across Italy and the millions who visit in each direction. We are inordinately proud of the fact that London is the city with the highest number of Italians living overseas. Our business ties are flourishing, from green power to life sciences, from aerospace to services. The UK is the fifth largest investor in Italy, and last year Italy was the UK's sixth largest source of foreign direct investment projects. figures which speak for themselves. Our cultures continue to have a huge impact on each other. Tomorrow I look forward to seeing this in Ravenna, where Byron is remembered fondly alongside Dante, and to seeing the wonderful Byzantine mosaics of that beautiful city. Where 200 years ago we sent poets, today we delight in each other's music, whether it is the wonder of Italian opera at Covent Garden or Ed Sheeran at the Stadio Olimpico. Ladies and gentlemen, Italy will always be at my heart, just as my beloved mother never forgot her wonderful 25th birthday at Tivoli in 1951, or her stop in Capaci many years later in 1992, where she paid tribute just days after his murder to your legendary anti-mafia prosecutor, Giovanni Falcone.
La cerimonia è terminata. I gentili ospiti.
Signore e signori, i nostri i nostri due paesi si trovano alle estremità del continente europeo. Il nostro è un insieme di isole spazzate dal vento. Il vostro una penisola baciata dal sole. Different in so many ways. And I'm nearly finished. But we have found, I believe, over the years, that those differences complement each other rather well. That has been true in centuries past, and it is emphatically true today. Let that be the spirit in which our two nations come together to approach the future. Fiduciosi che qualunque siano le sfide e le incertezze che inevitabilmente affrontiamo come nazioni, nel nostro continente e oltre, ora e in futuro, possiamo superarle insieme e lo faremo insieme. E quando lo avremo fatto, potremo dire con Dante, e quindi uscimo a rivedere le stelle. Grazie.
La cerimonia è terminata. I gentili ospiti sono pregati di rimanere seduti per consentire l'uscita delle loro maestà.
King Charles III has given a speech to both houses of Italy's parliament, the first time a UK monarch has delivered such an address. A band played a rendition of Italy's national anthem as the king entered the Chamber of Deputies, where a crowd of hundreds of parliamentarians had gathered to hear him speak. The British monarch praised the warm relationship between both countries, saying he is proud that London has a large gathering of Italians living in the city. He also says the UK is Italy's fifth largest trading partner, and the king paid tribute to both countries' shared love for the arts, especially Italian opera.